Hey, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. Welcome to my live stream on my social media. Always good to see you. Hello, TikTok. How are you? Oh, it says you're notifying my TikTokers. See, I have two cameras going. You know what I do? It is Wednesday. It is 6 o'clock Pacific time. I don't know where you're watching from in the world, but we certainly did change our clocks. Let me fix my banners over here. Whoops. There we go. And open my comments on my other social media. So the first thing I always like to know is where you're watching from, and then you can give me some of your relationship questions. It's always fun to see you. Hi, Sean, how are you? Oh, he's right away with the question. I love that. You're watching on YouTube. I see, Sean. Okay, for those who don't know, on TikTok, I use something called StreamYard that ends up on all my other social media, but it's not TikTok compatible. So you guys are up there on my cell phone and everyone else is down here on my computer. Okay, Sean says, let me put your question up on the screen. Thank you very much. I just had my roots colored. My girlfriend of 7 months met my family. I've yet to meet hers. Hers isn't fond of introducing me to her family. After several times I've asked, what do I do? I want to meet them to see how they are too. Yes, because that's part of the assessment thing. You want to find out, you want to meet the tribe, right? Relationships are a bridge between tribes. So you want to also figure out, hi, Linda from Pasadena. Always tell me where you're watching from. It's fun. You want to, see their friends and family. You want to see them in context. So Sean, the answer is, not to ask her, can I meet your family, or why can't I meet your family? Get her talking about her family. What does your family represent to you? Is there something with your family that you think I might be judgmental about? Can we talk about this so that we can find out what's happening with your family? Hello from Kansas. Nice to see you. But anyway, have the conversation of the motivation for why not, instead of the, if you don't do this. Okay, here's a question up here on TikTok. My boyfriend of 6 years keeps hinting at getting married soon, but hopes to buy a property first. Which question? You don't like just the hinting? You want to have a constructive conversation about it? I think in this day and age, where women don't have to be financially dependent on a man, you can certainly have a constructive conversation. Can we set a timeline for our relationship? When are you planning on really buying property? Where? Am I going to be part of it? Hey, Sydney, how are you? Nice to see you. You've got some good questions for me, I'm sure. Hello from Huntington Beach. Hi, Mike. How are you? There's Sydney. Pop your things up there. Thank you for your nice compliments. You're 24 and 26, so that's a little early too. So you might want to talk about, a 3 or 4 year game plan. Thank you for your compliments on my videos on TikTok. I appreciate it. Always tell me where you're watching from. All right, a few more minutes for questions. I knew Sydney has one. Sydney says, why do those with anxiety or an anxious attachment disorder have a higher chance? Why do people with an anxiety disorder have a higher chance of having an anxious attachment style? Well, because an anxious attachment style is partly genetic and it is partly learned, what happened in our early life, right? So the answer is that having anxiety around attachment is just another great place to put your anxiety if you have a gene for anxiety, right? Abby, thank you for your comment. Hello, Shelly from Agora Hills. Hi, Abby. Hello from Boston. Hi, Alberta, Canada. You got snow yet? Can I go skiing in Banff? It's my favorite place. You are welcome for my advice. So anyway, here, hello from Peru. What time is it there? So I do a live stream every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time for just a few minutes. I just answer a few questions, and then I head over to my Patreon community and serve them at 6:30, where we have a private exclusive Zoom room. For those who want to come over and join, there's still time. You go to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. And tonight we're going to be talking specifically about narcissism and the difference between narcissistic personality disorder and narcissistic traits, right? I've stopped chasing guys, instead matching their energy and finding lots of matches falling flat. Don't worry, you're doing the right thing. What you need to do is what's happening is you're removing all the pieces of hay from the haystack to reveal the needle at the bottom. So finding a good mate on an app when you have thousands and thousands of potential mates is about excluding them early. So and when I say excluding them, the ones that are apathetic, right? You want to find someone who's not suffering from dating apathy, but somebody actually who is inspired and passionate about you. Okay. Tay Ray says, how do you make a woman say no if she keeps waiting time, giving you a straight answer when you ask her out? How do you make her say no? This doesn't make sense. If you want to ask her out, you want her to say yes, right? You're going to have to reword your question because I don't understand it. What else do we have here? Why is it so hard to find a mate as an attractive, successful woman? Because you want to date a guy who's more attractive and more successful than you. And that is a smaller group. It keeps shrinking. A group of those guys are riding this wave of free sex and they're not committing anytime soon. And many of the commitment-oriented guys in your category, married early in their late 20s or early 30s. So what happens, we have like an oversupply of successful women in the mating marketplace, and they're using a big chunk of their fertility window to get educated and begin their careers. So there becomes this crazy mate crunch that starts around the age of 32 for women. And so the answer is, I want you to reframe your idea of what a power guy is. It may be a guy who can power a stroller. I also want you to stop chasing alpha men who are mostly avoidant guys who don't have a lot of compassion and probably can't be a good mate. So hello, Charms from Ottawa. Good to see you. Question is, my girlfriend is going too slow and I'm going fast. Advice, did I scare her away? What to do? I can't go slow. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Charms. Find a close friend that you can call when you have anxiety and want to call her and text her. Think of strategies to contain yourself while you're waiting. If she's calling herself your girlfriend and you have relationship definition, then just relax. Okay, Tay Ray's question. Thank you for your kind comments up there on TikTok. It says, I mean, if she keeps wasting time by not giving you a straight answer, then you need to move along. There's so many fish in the sea. Honestly, get on those apps. If somebody is being ambivalent and apathetic and not literally energized and impassioned by you, then move along. Find somebody else. What are your thoughts on dating an older, more successful coworker? Coworker's the big problem, right? Because we are in the Me Too time, and it is very dangerous to date a boss, certainly for them. It can be construed as sexual harassment. I think you have to go to HR and announce your relationship. Lots of companies have love policy, very important. Okay, Charm says, I need to activate my vagus nerve. Yes, it doesn't mean you go to Vegas for your vagus nerve. Do you know how you can activate your vagus nerve? By taking 3 slow, deep breaths and holding your breath in between and then exhaling even slower than the inhale, like in for 5, hold for 3, out for 7. Do that 3 times. That'll activate your vagus nerve. Also, you can jump in a body of cold water. Take a cold shower. I mean, it does. It gives it this overall relaxation effect, right? Is 3 months too soon to say, I love you? No, 3 months is a good time. I mean, I know that right now, the feeling of love is mixed with those beautiful neurohormones of lust, but that's what brings you together. I think I told my boyfriend I loved him around 3 months. Wait, August, September, October, November. It was like around 4 months. At a gas station. And he said I was very unromantic, but I'd never had a guy jump out of the car and pump gas for me before. So I just said, I love you. And he's like, oh, wow. If you're 64, how in the world do you find love like everybody else nowadays? You get on those dating apps. You don't lie about anything. You be honest with your profiles and you get out there. My boyfriend has never had a job that has lasted long. He's currently unemployed. Should I break up? I don't know. Do you need income? Or is he a really good best friend and it's fine not having income in the household? just remember, when you have kids, if you're the one with the breasts, you're going to need to stay home. Kat says from Facebook, let's move over to Facebook here. The dating apps are overwhelming. I can't keep up with the men that want to date me. What is the best dating app? Okay, so you have to be more selective, right? And you have to try to get rid of them very, very early. And you got to get on the phone with them really quickly so that you can assess pretty quickly and get rid of them. I met my boyfriend on Bumble, to answer your question. So that's the one I recommend, but that's only because it was lucky for me. But there's not one dating app is better than another. It's how you use it, and not get caught up in paradox of choice. Aloha from Hawaii. Nice to see you. I want to say this. You say the dating pool is awful in San Francisco Bay Area. I want to tell you it is never the city, because people are finding mates and getting married in every city in America. It's about learning good mating skills. What does Lisa say? Love that is. Love that is. Okay, so I'm going to take one more question, and then I'm going over to my Patreon page, where I'm going to do a private exclusive Zoom room where we're going to have a discussion on narcissism. You can join by going to patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. That's patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. Love my fiance, but he can be condescending sometimes. I talk to him about it a lot. Can he change? You can't change him, but he can change if he wants to. And the only thing you can do is set a boundary. Now, remember, you can never set a boundary on somebody else. You can only set a boundary on yourself. So that means you can say something politely. When I hear a condescending comment, it's not my policy to accept it. So I will be leaving wherever we are. Restaurant, home, the bed. Just move away from him. Just say, I don't like to be around people who are condescending, so I'm going to move away whenever I hear that. And that might motivate him to change. If not, how to form an emotional connection? Test the waters by talking about tender things, your childhood, your mother, your fears, life, real feelings. Do it gentle. I'll just do Sabrina real quick. Getting married to my boyfriend of 6 years, second marriage for both of us. Both my kids are supporting the wedding. His kids are not supportive. It makes him sad. And I've reached out and been inclusive to them. However, they are interested in his happiness. Maybe not interested in his happiness. The answer is time. Like everything, time. Just be open and loving and let them know they are welcome in your life. And eventually they will come around, because they'll see that dad is living his life. If they're adult kids. I mean, we're not talking about little kids, I hope. That would not be good. Okay, I am heading over to my Patreon page right now. Come on over, everybody. Patreon, patreon.com/Dr. Wendy Walsh. I'm opening the Zoom room in about 15 minutes at 6:30. We're going to have a lively conversation about narcissism. So good to see you here. See you next week. Bye.